Transaction is a exchange. An example of the current asset is stock in trade, because furniture is a long-term assets, goodwill is also long-term, so creditor is a liability, not an asset. So stock in trade means stock is a current asset. If there is a profit capital, mostly the capital will increase because the profit will be added to the capital. Bill receivable is a asset because you are gonna receive something from the debtor. That is, the bill receivable is an asset, not an income or the expense or liability. If earned income is withdrawn from the business, then it is termed as drawing, because when you are investing money, that is investment, but you are withdrawing the money, that is a drawing. Discount usually of the two types, one is cash discount and another one is trade discount. The amount with which business started is known as capital. The amount that we first invest in the business, that is known as capital. The dash of the business is changed due to the dash transaction, both financial position and financial result. Both because of the financial position and the financial result, the business is changed due to the transaction. The closing stock valuation is based on the principle that is cost and the market price whichever is lower. The closing stock valuation will be depend on whenever the cost and the market price whichever is lower, we will study afterward, that is will be valuation. The person from whom the amount is receivable is known as debtor, because we are receiving something, that is a debtor. We are paying something, that is a creditor. Excess of the current asset over current liability is termed as working capital, because the formula of the working capital is equal to current asset minus current liability. So whenever there is an excess of the current asset over current liability, that is working capital. The nature of the capital is a liability. Nature of the capital, because the company is liable to pay to the shareholder, so that is the nature of the capital is liability. Rebate received at the time of the payment is at the time of the payment, the liability is gain. Whenever you are paying, you are receiving the rebate at the time of the payment. You are paying the liability and the rebate is received as a discount form, then it is gain. Closing stock is an item of the current assets. The benefit of an expenditure existed within a year. What does it call? It is an expense. Deduction allowed to the buyer from the catalog price is known as, it's called trade discount, because from the price only the deduction is allowed, that is a trade discount. Afterward, whenever there is a two kind of discount, trade discount and cash discount, the trade discount is allowed at the time of purchase only. Deduction that is allowed to the buyer from the catalog price, but the deduction that is allowed whenever you are paying in the payment, you are doing payment in the cash, that is asset, not a real, not a vesting, not a tangible, but it is a fictitious asset, means which is something not काल्पनिक, मतलब जो चीज़ आप नहीं देख सकते वो टाइप की एसेट है गुडविल, बिकॉज इट नॉट अ रियल, नॉट अ वेस्टिंग. एंड टेंजेबल मीन्स समथिंग यू कैन टच, बट इनटेंजेबल मीन्स यू कैन टच, दैट इज fictitious. Written evidence of an accounting transaction is a voucher, because evidence of accounting transaction that you are gonna entry it, that is a voucher.